morning. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to morning news source, only here at the Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and the Daily Tribune official on TikTok. For today's headlines. The defense of Sara Duterte cited the Marcos administration's denials of any destabilization plot, while challenging the National Bureau of Investigation's investigative methods to weaken the prosecution's impeachment case. Sara Duterte said the fourth day of her Senate impeachment trial reinforced her claim that the case against her lacks evidence, following proceedings on allegations that she threatened Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and two others. The Supreme Court of the Philippines concluded oral arguments on petitions challenging the 2024 to 2026 national budgets and ordered all parties to submit memoranda within 30 days before deliberations begin. The Malacanang on Tuesday shrugged off the Trump administration's campaign against the International Criminal Court, saying the U.S. policy has no bearing on the Philippines. Police have launched a manhunt and created a special task force to investigate the fatal shooting of an American marine biologist at his home in Sibulan. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index slipped to 0.15%, while the peso weakened to 61.71 pesos per US dollar as investors reacted to renewed geopolitical tensions and rising oil prices. Ding Dong Dante sparked online debate after asking a seemingly loaded question on Family Feud Philippines that amused and divided netizens. Spain snuffed out France's dream of a third World Cup triumph on Tuesday, taming their galaxy of forwards with 2-0 and progress to a final against England or Argentina. Today is the 15th of July, 2026, Wednesday, and I'm Eliana Lacap, bringing you today's top stories. Let's kick things off with today's weather. The southwest monsoon or habagat will affect the western section of northern Luzon on Wednesday, the Pagasa said. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to localized thunderstorms. Pag-asa warns of possible flash floods or landslides during severe thunderstorms. Meanwhile, moderate winds are expected over the northern and western sections of Luzon, while the rest of the country will experience light to moderate winds with slight to moderate coastal waters. Now for a traffic update. Light traffic is reported at Balintawak Toll Plaza, Mindanao Toll Plaza, Bukawi Toll Plaza, and San Fernando northbound and southbound lanes. All of the areas of NLEX, SLX, and NLEX connector, including toll plazas and interchanges, are also experiencing light traffic. Now let's move on to this morning's headlines. Vice President Sara Duterte's defense questioned the NBI's investigation on the fifth day of her impeachment trial, citing Malacanang's 2026 statements that no verified destabilization plot against the Marcos administration existed. The defense argued the NBI failed to review videos showing Duterte's fears for her family, never interviewed her, and relied mainly on open source materials. NBI Regional Director Jeremy Lotok defended the investigation as evidence-based, saying Duterte's statements met the elements of grave threats and pose a potential national security risk regardless of whether a destabilization plot actually existed. The Vice President Sara Duterte said that the fourth day of her Senate impeachment trial reinforced her claim that the case against her lacks evidence. Duterte accused the prosecution of fabricating claims, insisting there were no actual threats or hired assassin. Her statement came after NBI Regional Director Jeremy Lotok testified that her November 2024 remarks against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and other officials constituted grave threats. During the cross-examination, the defense argued investigators failed to prove an assassin had been hired, while prosecutors said such proof is not required to establish grave threats. The Supreme Court has concluded oral arguments on petitions challenging the constitutionality of the 2024, 2025, and 2026 national budgets. The court ordered all parties to submit their final memoranda within 30 days before deliberations begin. The petitions question Congress's use of unprogrammed appropriations and budget increases made during bicameral deliberations, arguing lawmakers exceeded their constitutional authority. The court also directed Congress and the Department of Budget and Management to explain the changes made to the national budget. Now, Malacanang said the Trump administration's campaign against the International Criminal Court has no effect on the Philippines, stressing that U.S. policies do not apply to the country. The palace also reiterated that the Marcos administration has no plans to rejoin the ICC, despite cooperating with the Tribunal and Interpol in recent cases. Meanwhile, the U.S. announced a broader campaign against the ICC. Former presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo welcomed the move, while Davao Representative Paulo Duterte questioned the government's position on Philippine sovereignty. The police have launched a manhunt and formed a special investigation task force following the fatal shooting of American marine biologist Kent Carpenter inside his home in Sibulan, Negros Oriental. Carpenter, who identified the Verde Island Passage as the world's center of marine shore fish biodiversity, was shot by one of 3 armed intruders who forced their way into his home. His Filipino companion was unharmed. Authorities are reviewing CCTV footage, interviewing witnesses, and conducting forensic examinations to identify the suspects and determine the motive behind the attack. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index fell to 0.15% to 6,256.02 on Tuesday, while the peso weakened to 61.71 peso against the US dollar as investors remained cautious over renewed tensions in the Middle East. Concerns over a reported U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz raised fears of global oil supply disruptions, pushing crude prices to one-month highs. Despite subdued trading, foreign investors remained net buyers with 229.8 million peso in inflows, while mining and oil stocks posted gains on stronger oil prices. Now, Family Feud host Ding Dong Dantes drew mixed reactions online after a recent episode featured the question, ano ang posibleng trabaho ng taong laging naka-livestream or naka-Facebook Live? With the choices are online seller and senador. The question quickly went viral with some netizens finding it humorous, while others viewed it as a subtle political jab. Separately, Heart Evangelista's assistant Resty Rosel also sparked online discussion after deleting comments criticizing content creators Mimi Ya and Esnir over their use of the phrase clean money. Now, Spain booked its place in the FIFA World Cup final after defeating France 2-0 in Tuesday's semi-final in Texas. Michael Orzabal opened the scoring from the penalty spot before Pedro Porro sealed the victory in the second half. Spain's defense held France scoreless, despite its star-studded attack, sending the European champions into the final. Spain will face either England or Argentina as it bids for its second World Cup title and the first in the tournament's 48-team era. Now, a quick look at today's horoscope. Today calls for growth and new opportunities, Taurus. Your personal life gains strength, and opening your heart to your partner can bring new warmth into your relationship. You may consider exploring a new career path, while a new project shows promise for financial gains. Pay close attention to your health, and don't ignore lingering concerns. A consultation with a medical professional may help you get back on track. Now, Tribune, did you know that on this day in 2006, San Francisco startup Odeo publicly launched Twitter, the SMS-based messaging service that would be later become Twitter? Originally created as a side project by Jack Dorsey, Evan Williams, Noah Glass, and Odeo team, the platform let users share short status updates via text message. Dorsey had posted just the first ever tweet, "Just setting up my Twitter." Just months earlier, renamed Twitter later that year, the microblogging platform grew into one of the world's most influential social media networks, transforming how people communicate, share news, and engage in public conversations. Now, this morning's viral comes from a TikTok video that has racked up 2.3 million views, featuring a hilarious take on the phrase "cake on hand." The clip shows a family seemingly on their way to an outing when the camera pans to the person assigned to carry the cake. She takes the instruction a little too literally, holding the cake right on her hand the entire time. The unexpected sight had netizens laughing at her commitment to the assignment. And that's all for now, mga katribu. Join us again at 1 o'clock p.m. for more updates. This has been Eliana Lacap for Tribune News on Q.